One of our most frequently asked questions. We get this question a lot, and it is, how do I know what books I should be reading with my kids? Every child on this planet can become a strong and confident reader. And the best part, it can be simple, quick, and fun to support your readers at home. We are on a mission to help every single child become a strong and confident reader. And we believe that parents play an enormous role in making that happen and making school a safe place, bringing joy to reading, and helping open up doors for your child's future. Hello there, I am so excited to have you here. My name is Megan. If you don't know me, I am part of the Developing Readers Academy team, and we are talking about something that is one of our most frequently asked questions. We get this question a lot, and it is, how do I know what books I should be reading with my kids? So if you have a kiddo who is not quite an independent reader yet, they're still learning how to read, this is a great video for you. Make sure you stick around to the very end because that is what we are going to be chatting about. So if you have the problem that you don't quite know what books are good, maybe you've gone to the library and you're like, what books are good for my child? It's a problem that a lot of families have. They're confused and there's like 10 million bajillion choices out there, right? You go to the library, you go to the bookstore, there's a million different choices. How are you supposed to know which ones they're able to read and which ones they're not able to read? A lot of people overthink it, and I want to show how we don't need to overthink it. It doesn't have to be that complicated, actually, which is great. One mistake, I do want to talk about a mistake really quick that a lot of families have done. It is not your fault if you have done this because the marketing on these books is amazing. They have really great marketers that have packaged these books in a way that makes kids want to read them and parents think they're the best choice. This is the early readers books is what I always call them. So it's the ones when you turn it around, it'll say, this is for preschooler, this is for kindergartner, this is for first grade. It has like the different levels. And there's different ones. There's ones where it's like 1 star, 2 star, 3 stars, or green, yellow, orange. And they tell you a specific age or grade that this book is for. And it's very misleading to me. Here's misleading. One, they usually have really fun characters. I know my kids have Paw Patrol one, there's Disney princesses, there's Peppa Pig. It's all the ones that the kids are like, I want that book because it has this character that I really like. And then on the back, parents are, oh, it says it's for a kindergartner, so this must be for my child because my child's in kindergarten. Yay, this means they should read this book independently. And what I do not like about these books is that they typically, very typically, almost always, all of the ones I've seen at least, are not meant for independent reading of that grade. So if it says kindergarten on the back, this book is great for kindergarten. And then they'll even say, use picture clues, simple sentences, simple words, and it's not. They tell you right there they want your kids to be looking at the pictures instead of reading the words. They say simple sentences, but they have crazy words in there. There was a Disney princess one where Belle was in the castle. Belle's going to the dungeon. There's an enchanted spell. I mean, and it said it was for a kindergartner. I'm like, enchanted, dungeon, castle, these are not words that kindergartners need to read independently. Parents, your kids do not need to read those independently. They're typically not at kindergarten age. Unless you have a high flyer, castle, dungeon, and enchanted are not words that are typically being independently read. And that's why it's very misleading. They want kids to look at the picture. And the problem with it, you might be going, well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with looking at the picture? It gives you a huge sense of false hope for your kids. It looks like they're reading. It really does. Belle's in the dungeon. Oh my gosh, my child just read the word dungeon. My child's a genius. Belle's in the castle. Oh my gosh, my child's a genius. They just read the word castle. That's how parents feel. And I get it because it feels that way. And I know when I taught kindergarten, I didn't know what I know now. Let's just say that. I didn't know what I know now. I would have been really excited about that too. Oh my gosh, they read the word castle. No, they didn't. They looked at the picture. If you showed them the word castle without a picture of a castle, they could not read it. If you took the picture away in those books, your kids couldn't read those independently, typically. Again, if you have a high flyer, maybe they could. But that's why those books, to me, they are not for independent reading. And they are misleading because parents think that's what they're for. These early readers, they're for my kids. They should be reading it on their own. Usually not. They're much more complicated than what the marketing team and what the book cover says. They're actually quite complicated, those books. So what the hey are you supposed to do instead? What are you supposed to do instead? If those books are not for independent reading, The leveled books are not good for independent reading. What are you supposed to do? I want to take a second here and imagine yourself walking into the library and you see thousands of books and you're feeling overwhelmed. I want to try to change that. My goal after this video, so keep watching, is that when you walk in the library, you're not going to feel overwhelmed anymore, because it all comes down to what are your intentions with that book. And this is kind of funny. It makes me think of like a dad sending his daughter off on a date. What are your intentions with my daughter? Anyways, that was random. No, what are your intentions with the books that you're getting? And there's different intentions we can have. Your intention could be, I want to enjoy a story with my child. That is a great intention. We should read with our kids just for the enjoyment and for the fun. Your intention might be that you want your child to learn something, learn a fact, or maybe learn a lesson. Maybe they're learning things from the characters. Maybe you want your child to learn a new word, new fancy words. We should always be building vocabularies, using fancy words. This is a great opportunity. All of those are amazing intentions that we definitely should be doing with our kids. All of those intentions, guess what? Guess what kind of books you should be reading? Any book. Any book. When you walk into the library, don't feel overwhelmed. Look at it like a sea of opportunity. Oh, so many books that I could teach my children different facts, lessons, words. We can enjoy these stories together. It can be absolutely any book. Don't overthink it. Let your kids go into the library and go, this looks interesting. This is a good topic. You go through and go, I want my kids to learn about whales and space, and I want to learn about presidents, and I want to, whatever. You don't have to overthink. When your intentions are you want to grow your child's language comprehension or what they can do out loud, the sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. Now, if your intention is to practice independent reading, so here's another intention. I want my child to practice becoming an independent reader. That's amazing. That's a great intention. This is where a lot of families, the mistake they make is they turn to the early readers. Oh, it says it's simple, and they like Disney princesses, so this will be a great book. And they have a lot of them at the library. They have a whole section at our library, at least. It's huge. I don't suggest that for independent reading. I suggest decodable readers for independent reading for kiddos that are not yet independent readers. So if you have a child who is a fluent reader, they can pick whatever they want. So they really have, the world's their oyster for those kiddos. If your child's still learning how to read, if you want them to practice independent reading, grab decodable readers. Here's the problem with them. At our library, there's no section of decodable readers. They don't have them at the library. And it's infuriating and it makes me mad. And I hope one day it changes. I hope there's more out there. There are amazing decodables out there online. There's ones you can print out, PDFs. There's ones you can order bound books that are amazing. So there are options out there. Before I get into the options, because we're going to have a freebie that gives you a list of options. But before I get into that, what is a decodable reader? A decodable reader is a story that focuses on a certain phonics skill that your child has been directly taught. So if your child is working on digraphs, that means two letters that come together to make one sound. Ch, sh, th, are some of the common ones. If they're working on ch, ch spells ch. In a decodable reader, there's going to be a lot of words with ch so that they can practice that skill over and over in sentences and in a story. So they can start applying these phonics skills to a story. It's kind of like I think of was in basketball long time ago. I was not very good at basketball, but my dad was my coach, so I always think of that. He would have me shoot free throws like 1,000 times. It felt like 1,000 times at least. Probably was like 20 times. But I would just sit there. I wasn't always in the game playing, right? Sometimes I just sat there and shot free throws so that I could get the motions down so that when I was in the game, it was not that big of a deal. I could shoot a free throw. That's kind of what this is. This is practicing a specific skill so that when you're in the game or reading any book, you now have the skills to go, oh, that word has a ch. I know it has a ch sound in it. Oh, that's the word much. So it's giving you specific skills that's going to help you become a better overall reader. They are not necessarily like the most deep books. That's why it's important to have other intentions too. Find other books that you're reading with them to get the deeper level thinking and asking questions and learning new things. These are skill practice so that your child is building independent reading skills for kids who are not independent readers yet. This is the way to go. Until your child has mastered the majority of their phonics and can read words pretty effortlessly, this is a great way. This is what you should focus on for independent reading. Handing them a book and saying, you read it. You read it to me. I'm not reading it. You're reading it to me. Have them do skills practice. Just like another example is a piano. I would have to do scales. I play the piano myself. I would have to always do a bunch of scales. I wasn't playing songs all the time. I was doing different chord progressions. I wasn't playing songs all the time. I had to do skill work so that when I got to the songs, I was much better because I did these specific skills. I didn't always just play all the songs. There's other things you have to do. It's the exact same thing with reading. This is like the skill work, the chords and the scales, so that they'll be ready for that independent reading. I hope that makes sense. I hope it does. Again, I wish there was more. I wish you could go to the library and just get a bunch of them, and they're amazing. We are going to have a freebie. We'll put the link in the caption. We'll also send it to our email list. It'll also be on our Instagram. We're going to put it as many places as we can that has options. There are ones you can print out. I love the printable ones. Drop in Knowledge with Heidi has amazing ones I've used with my son. I always print out 2 copies, one that he can highlight the words and then a clean copy. So we first read the highlighted words. Okay, we're working on words with short A. Find them all, read it, and then read the clean copy that doesn't have them highlighted. There's also ones that are bound books. So Jen Jones by Hello Literacy, and I have some right here. She has amazing bound ones. These are incredible. They're so good. So these are ones you can purchase and it will be sent to you. So those are another ones. And we have other options as well. So yes, make sure you check that out or DM us on our Instagram and we can get you the link to that freebie as well. Just say, hey, I'm looking for the decodables freebie and we'll send you that link. So if you are looking, we do have decodables. I'm going to put a plug in here. Ready for the plug. We have decodables for every single one of our lessons in our summer program, our summer reading program, every single lesson. So if your child learns short A, guess what? There's a decodable for short A. If your child learns vowel teams, guess what? We have different decodables for vowel teams. So we have it built right into the lessons. We teach the skill, we write the skill, we read the skill, we play games with the skill and help your kids master and move forward with their reading. So if you're looking for that, make sure you ask and apply today. Again, DM us, email us. I'll put the link down there too for our application. Spots are filling up quick. Laura and I are the only ones on the team. It's me and Laura. Our whole business is me and Laura. So we do have limited spots because we can only take on so many new families. So if you are interested, do not hesitate. Jump in today. Let's get your kids moving forward with reading. We will give you the decodables. And then you just have to go to the library or get books that are fun and interesting and will help your kids learn just a million different things that they can learn. So loved having you here. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. We're going to have a ton more. If you ever have topics you want us to cover, let us know. We'd love to take some suggestions and cover different topics. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.